Welcome back to Hurley's Hobbies. Well, I'm going to build a SIG something extra, and this is a 51.5 inch wingspan, 51.5 inch wingspan, 40.40 to 0.46 cubic inch two-stroke, and we are getting started here. So I got some of my sticks out of the box. I've laid my plans out. I put saran wrap on everything I wanted saran wrap it. I take my saran wrap, stick it out, put scotch tape on each side, pull it, scotch tape it, cut it off, and then stretch it a little bit in the middle. And then did two layers, and that's how I did that. So I have my wing spars here, 24 inches, 11 inch, cut down to 10 and 5/8. I got three of them done. I got this one cut down to 10 and 5/8, and this is still 24 inches long. I set it on here, about my end, mark it. I have some medium CA. Glue it down to my line. Get that end butted up. Straighten it out. Flip it to the side. Hold it tight. Make sure we're nice and flat. Hold it there. Any excess glue oozing out, I wipe it off. There are 4 wing spars. 2 for that one, 2 for this one. I'm going to take one of them and set it aside. And now I'm going to get this one in here. Get it where I want it. On the plans. And I am going to pin it down. But first I'm going to get some of my wing ribs out and lay my wing ribs out. Okay. So I have my wing pieces out here. 13 is W1A. It comes on the side there. If you look in your paper and the building instructions, it shows you the your build boards, and it'll say right on them 14 W2, 13 W1A, 15, and then on the piece with your fuselage, it'll have W1. That does not go on right now. Your wingtip is W20, but just all the way down. And I take them and I actually mark it right on there. This one came off of 13, and I have this one already ready. I pop these out before I build it. Pop them out, get them out of there. Take a dowel with just a piece of your sticky sandpaper on it, and I sand that. Make sure that's nice. Sand this piece. This is your servo hole for your servo wire to run through. Make sure it's nice and cleaned up, rounded. Take your wing spar sleeve with your wing spar. Make sure it slides in there nicely, nice and tight. And then I also take these where you broke them out, and I sand them. Run through, sand that little nub off. And I am going to go through every single one and get them laid out here. Okay, I got all my ribs cut, sanded. Now the ones off the end that come out of here on the ends, those are going to cap the ends of these, end of the tubes with that. So we're going to want to keep those. And now we're going to pull our sleeve off our wing tube. We're going to cut it to 6 inches in length. So get our tape measure. We're going to need 2 6-inch pieces. This is how I like to do it. Take a piece of tape. I mark multiple locations around the tube. Lay it on a 6-inch mark. Bring it on around. Like that. Put it in our holder. Got a fine-tooth saw. Got that piece. My sanding block. Smooth it out a little bit. Same with this one. Okay, I got my wing spar all pinned down. When I do this wing spar, I don't care if it sticks over this end a little bit because I can sand it flush and this end. I'm not going to cut it exact. I like to take W4 because it butts against this doubler right here for the wing spar. I like to set that against the wing, take a 1, 2, 3 block and put it there and line it up with that. Like right now, it's actually sticking over maybe just more than a 1/16 off the end here, which I can sand off. And I line this one up, W4 against the wing spar doubler, and that's where I set my wing spar. I like it to stick over each end a little bit, and then when I'm done building the wing, I'll sand them flush. So now we need to get our aileron servo, which is these pieces, and it's in number 2. They're ply, 1/8-inch light ply. We need to get these out of here. These are for our aileron servos, so we need to get those out. Now I want to make sure these fit in here real nice. They fit in really nice in that one. And W4, I'm going to take W3, make sure it fits in there, and it does really nice. And that'll be our aileron tray. And there will be a 1/16 by quarter Balsa cap strip going on. So, and I will probably take these and actually stick some balsa on the back side of them later on. I'll fill them in there, but we'll cover that later. So just make sure you get your aileron servo trays out off of number 2. All right, I wood glued my servo tray in there for the ailerons. So now I'm gonna put this on, put F4 and F3 in. I want to put some glue on the end there. Put some glue on here. Wood glue. I got some smaller T-pins, and I'm going to pin the rear of it down. Make sure I'm all the way onto the spar. I'm going to pin both sides down. Make sure they're nice and square. And they're nice and straight. One of my 1, 2, 3 blocks will not fit. Well, I guess it will. I didn't think it would fit in between them. I guess it does just fit. So I got that one in. I'm going to put W2 in and glue that one in there. Pin that one down. I do really like using a pair of pliers to light ply, especially if you don't know how old this is. It can be really hard to get those pins in. Make sure we got some nice glue on there. Move on to W5. W6. Okay, I got the bottom spar glued in. The top one's just fitted in there. Now at this point, they want you to fit this spar in, take a sheeting, one of your front shear web sheets, and put it here and put weight on it to hold it flat, and install your front leading edge and your trailing edge pieces. Shaping the front one, it says, to it, and probably shaping the back, I think it was. And then once you get that shape, they want you to grab your shear web for your wing spar and put that in. Take this top weight off, take this wing spar out, put all your shear spar webbing in, gluing them together and getting them in to the bottom spar. And then, once you get them all in, then install the upper wing spar and then glue all your shear webbing to that. Now, you can do that if you want to, because that's the way the instructions say to do it. And also put your wing tubes in, but don't glue them in, and then pull them back out, and then put all your shear webbing in, and then come back and put these in. Put this in, and put your top spar in, and that's how they want you to do it. Now, you can do it that way if you would like to, but I'm going to glue my top wing spar in because right now I know all of my pieces are square, and I'm not going to do it the other way. So you do it the way you want, but I'm gluing my top wing spar in, making sure this end is exactly square, goes against the fuse. Your wing tip is exactly square, and I'm going to put my upper wing spar in. Then I will glue and fit my wing sleeve in, and then put my shear webbing in. Put this in temporarily, put my shear webbing in, and then come back and glue the wing tube in, and then do my leaning and trailing edge. And that's how I'm gonna do it. So you can do it the way you want. Now I wish I wouldn't have put that spar in until I had glue in and put it in, because I had everything nice and square. Now I'm worried that I knocked it out of square. I just think that was a bad idea. I've never ever have heard that on a plane, to put your shear webbing in on the bottom and your spar to your ribs and have the top one temporary in before you put your upper wing spar in. I have never heard that before. I don't remember that on the plans from, well, actually, I've never built this plane before. I bought one, so it was already built. But it just doesn't make no sense to me. Okay, I got this piece glued on, and I'll show you how I did it on this one when I do that one. But I need to get this piece on the front leading edge. It's got a little bit of a round to it. Goes on here. And the first thing I want to do is take some blocks, put them here. I want to make sure my nose is right where I want it. And I'm going to take my pen, set this up here, because these W1A and W2 are light ply. I want to use medium CA, so I want to mark those. And if you notice, it doesn't come all the way to the top, because when you do your top skin, you'll butt to that. So don't run the glue all the way. See, right there. Just leave your glue back. But I want to put some medium CA on those. Line up my marks. Get them in there. We'll just hold that. So now I'm going to come on down. Start with these first ones. Hopefully I'm not in your way. And we'll tack that one in. We'll tack that one in. Now you have a bag wrapped in, they're like 1 3/4 by 3/32 by 4 inches. There should be 10 of them. They've been wrapped. I cut it open. And you want to start by gluing 2 of them together, flat on one side. And then you want to take it, set it up to your thing, up to your wing ribs. I'm going to start by the W7 and W6 and work my way over. Put a mark on there. My pen doesn't want to mark really well. Might be getting old. Pull my T-pen out of here. Put it back in on an angle. Actually, I should put it out this way. Once I shear the top, I won't be able to get it out. So check my fit. Seems a little bit tight. We'll mark it. I have this block of wood I usually cut on, so I don't cut through the plans. Probably should use that. Take my leftover piece.
Give me that G, I gotta have that G. Right now I need the G to get me through. Like if I couldn't play the G, I'd die. You better give it up.
Make sure we're nice and straight on one side. And just so you know, this piece of wood I'm gluing on does have a piece of packing tape like down the middle of it right there. So the glue, that's why it doesn't stick to it. I'll just grab a regular one so I don't need to glue two together. Mark it. Now on this piece, you're cutting it to the end of your wing tube. I have my wing tube in there. You're supposed to leave it like 1/8 of an inch sticking out. And I got a little bit less than that. That's what I want. Let that sit. Now I'm going to move on to this one. The next wing, get it caught up to this wing. I did glue my cap on my wing tube, just one of the plugs from the end of the wing here. Need to grab our 1/4 by 1/4, and it needs to get glued on here. And this one has a pretty bad warp to it. But same as before, find my pencil on my pen. I'm going to start with the medium. But first thing I want to do, get my blocks in here. I got this wing, the top side covered. Got all that done, got it sanded, got the ends all sanded smooth so far. I like to sand as I go because I hate doing all the sanding at the end. So now I'm gonna show you how I got to this point. With this one, let's get it building. So on the first thing you're gonna do is you got multiple sheets. There was 2 more in here, so you would have had 6 of them. It says 4 by 24 inches and 1/16. The first thing you're going to need to do is take your straight edge and run it down one side and make sure it's nice and straight. That's how I got to this. And then you're going to butt it up to here, and you're going to fold it over, and you're going to want to mark each end how far it folds over. What I did is just held it like halfway on that rib, because you're going to want to find the center of the wing spar and mark it. So then half of your wing spar is going to stick out. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I think it would be a little bit stronger if it went to this side of the wing spar, but I did it the way they suggested. So you're going to straight edge this side, cut a little bit off, make sure it's nice and straight, butt it here, and you can tape it there, fold it over, mark that side of the wing spar, pull it back, fold it over, mark this side of the wing spar so you're in the middle of it. Then you're going to pull it off, and you're going to cut that extra off. That's how I got this piece. And you're going to cut that off. So the first thing I'm going to do is straight edge this piece and cut a little bit off it. Okay, I'm going to try to do this on camera here. I got a little bit of it sticking out. I don't really care if I cut this outside of the paper. If I nick it, it's not quite that big a deal. You're just going to want to hold it there, have a nice sharp blade, and come down and score it. This 1/16 is pretty easy to cut through. And there we go. Cut a little piece off. I will take it back over to our wing and we'll mark those two sides. Okay, this is my cut edge here. So I'm going to carefully lay it here, use my hands, roll it over. Now you can see the spar. I'm going to mark about the center. I do believe on the plans it says to use a ruler for this, if I remember right, because I did this the other one about a half a week ago, because I've been really busy. Hold this one, make sure you're there. Hold it there. And mark this side. Alright, now we'll take it back over to the straight edge and cut that off. So now I'm going to lay it here. I'm just going to make sure I'm over a little bit on this side, because it'll be easier for me to cut the excess off this side after it's glued on. We're just going to hold it up like it shows in the plans and start gluing it on down. But you got to make sure it's nice and tight to the rib. This end wants to lift a little bit. So my glue will work here. I'll tack that. And the way I do it the first time is I just tack it where the rib is. Tack it around the rib, because then you can guarantee that it's not bowing in. Hold it there. I got this last batch of my CA. I buy it by bulk from off of Amazon. I don't know what's going on, but it's not insta setting, even though it's supposed to be the same. It is actually the same, but it's not setting like the normal stuff. I don't know if it's old stock, but I'm just letting you know in case you buy your glue off Amazon too. It's just not setting instantly. I don't know why it's doing that. We'll come on down and glue in between. And I don't recommend using any accelerator. I don't recommend. This is not the company. It's just in a bottle. I buy the refill thing and just refill it. But that's not what's actually in there. But I don't know why you don't want to use accelerator. That's what I was getting at. You don't I don't really recommend accelerator on the thin for covering when you're doing a skin. Because it actually causes that, like, almost like using baking soda. It'll like expand out when you use the accelerator, and it just makes more sanding for yourself. So that's why I don't really recommend that. Now, if it's on the inside, like when I put glue these on, a lot of times I'll glue them and then I'll let them set for 5 minutes or so. And I'll come back and hit them again with the thin CA and then spray them with the accelerator because then it expands out a little bit. I don't know. I just think it helps grab a little bit more. And what I'm trying to do here is just making sure it's nice and level here on the front. So you can stick your finger behind and move. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm moving it back and forth just so it's nice and level. And then I wipe the excess off because it just makes your sanding a little bit easier. It's not like a glop on top. Yeah, I just don't get why this ain't setting up very fast. It should be pretty instant, and it's not. Since it's taken a little bit longer, I'm going to let that set for a few minutes. And we'll get rid of our thin CA, and we'll grab our medium. And we'll come back and glue this side. So while I'm waiting for that to make sure it's nice and set, I'm going to try to come back here, grab half of the spar, just to give myself a little indication where the middle of it is. So when I put the medium on there, I'm not gulping on the other side. See, that'll fit nice. So now I'll grab my medium. And just to give you an idea, this is the the glue that I buy. It's a lot cheaper to buy this than the little bottles. I keep my caps and reuse the same cap again and again, and keep the nice caps for just holding, making sure it's sealed. And then I use the medium gap filling by BSI, and then I use this is accelerator. I just got it from Riders. That's my local hobby store. So now we're gonna come along with the medium. Gonna try to get it down in there. It doesn't seem like it's flowing out real nice. Let's try that again. Here we go. Put some medium on here. Try to get down in there as far as you can. What's nice while the bottom side's open, when I pull this off the table and I get it completely off the table, I will go back over it on the inside with thin and hit everything with thin, or you could use medium. And I'll go on both sides of the ribs to make sure this is coated good. Now you won't be able to do it when you do the other side. When you do the bottom side, you won't be able to go back and double check it, but that's just something I do. So now we'll start down here and start folding it down and hold it. Some people tape it, you can tape it, but for some reason my thin is taking about as long as the medium usually takes to set, so that's why I'm saying that. I did not put no accelerator on the top on it before I put this on. I did not add no accelerator to the bottom of it. That's just, and you will fill the ribs in here. This is still gonna sag where every rib is. You are not, when you do this 1/16 balsa, it's you're gonna feel those ribs in there. There is no way around that. Only way you can do is go with thicker balsa, but if you're expecting this to come out perfectly flat around here, when I rub my hand down, I can feel every rib. You're not gonna get rid of that on this 1/16. So now I'm gonna mark this side. I'm gonna stay out about a 1/16. Mark this side, stay out about a 1/16. I will grab my straight edge, a flexible one, which I don't know where it's at right now. You can even use tape. You can just use some tape, come across here. Actually, you want to go on this side there. Hit that. What I do is I take my hobby knife and I go down that with my hobby knife. This 1/16 sand's pretty easy, so you could, I'm even staying off the tape a little bit. Not even hardly pushing, just letting the saw cut. And the excess is off of there. And I still got a nice lip there. And I can come back when I sand the rest and sand that. And sand this side and get it nice and flush with the ends of the ribs. So now we'll move on to this piece and we'll get that done. The next thing I want to do is I want to cut this extra off of here. I'm going to leave a little bit of it on. So now I'm going to take my sanding blocks. I think this is 80 grit sandpaper on here. And I'm going to sand this. But first we got to put some tape on these ribs. This little piece of tape. Go over every rib. You don't really need this. The only part I want to stick is the top. Really good. Alright, I got the tape on there. Got it on every rib. So now you want to take your sanding block and sand this to the taper of the rib. That's why the tape's on there, so you don't actually sand the rib. And just take your time. I don't use a whole lot of pressure on it. I'll take my little straight edge, hold it on there. Check them all. See how we're doing. They all look pretty good. So now we got that done. We'll take all the tape off. Now we want to grab one of these 1.5, 1/16 by 2 foot. There should be 3 of them left because I did one on the other one. And this one has a little break in it, so we'll try to be careful with it. But we want to glue this on here. It says on the plans, flush with the back. I'm probably going to take a straight edge. I don't remember if it told you on the plans a straight edge one side, but I'm probably going to do it. So I'm going to put most of the extra this way. Get this up here. Get it butted to it. Mark on my, give it closed up, mark on my rib. Go to the next one. Mark on my rib. Next one. Now I got those marked. Take my medium. Alright, start down here. I gotta keep this closed. I'm gonna come back and put some thin on that later.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it.
Oh, we got that part done.
I got facts over tracks. This and
I still have
fast, I could roast, I could gas,
a half of the 24 left over from the other rib. We're going to want to cut that in half at 6 inches. So you get 2 6-inch pieces by 4 inches, and then you're eventually going to glue the two to make a 6 by 8 inch. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to cut those. There, I got my 2 4 by 6 inch pieces glued together, so now it's 8 by 6. I'm going to want to lay that on my table here, nice and flat. Take my small sanding block, make this 220 on it. Go to pre-sand that seam. I'm going to do the same on the back side. Pre-sand that. There we go, we got that piece. Now we're going to come back to our wing. See the side I want, this side up. And we're going to leave it a little bit long. Make sure it's a little bit long. Let me check the bottom. Yep. We're going to butt it tight to the top here. And I'm going to mark that. And mark there. And I'm going to straight edge across that. Okay. And you see I actually left my marks on. Because I don't want it like too overly, you know, you want it to have a little bit of a bounce. Because you can always move it out a little bit. Too much. Just like that. You just want it a little bit to be a little bit and to stay nice and tight. So what they told you to do is measure it over so far. I don't remember what it was because I did it half a week ago. And I used this bottle for the round, and that's how I made my round part there. So it looks like this. And I left that little nub on there and went level with the spar here and rounded it straight to there. And I come back and lightly sanded it smooth. So I actually have my template still for the piece I cut out of it. And that's what I'm going to use to make this template for this one. And the way I know which way it was is because I can tell the seams line up here because it's at the bottom side. The factory, not really factory, but the joint I did before. I'm gonna set this here. And mark it on around like that. And now when I cut it, I'm going to leave the line on and I will save this. I'm going to take this, I'm going to grab my little straight edge here just to help me through the center here. Try to leave the line on. Come on down. I think my straight edge or my blade might be getting a little dull. Let me change it. Try to freehand this round. Leave my line on. There we go. And then once I get this on there, I'll take a little, this little sanding block. It's got 220 on it, and I'll go around and sand it, but I'm gonna wait till after I glue it on. All right, I got it there where I like it. So I'm gonna put a little mark here on both pieces. I have an idea where to line it back up. I'm gonna take that off. We'll grab our medium CA and we'll put some glue down. Line up my marks here on that side. Line up marks on this side. Push it down on. Now I'm going to grab my thin CA. I'll come along and really hit this joint here. Wipe off the excess. And then I'm going to check this. Make sure it's pretty nice and where I want it. Feels pretty good. Wipe my excess off. Well, look, that's it. Okay, I have my 1/16 thick by 1/4 by 36 inches long. And this is what we're going to use for over top of our ribs here. We're going to want to take it, lay it on there, butt it to that side, bend it over. But first I want to go through and just mark the middle of my rib. It just makes it easier to locate. So I'm going to go through and do all of those. So when you put it back on, when you go to put those on, you're able to see where the center is. And it will just help you out. So now I got my mark there. I know that's about center. Come down here. Mark this. We'll cut that. I'm just going to take my knife and set it on it and lightly pull and cut through it. Make a couple swipes and cut through it. So now we can check our fit here. Looks pretty good. So now I'm going to take some medium CA, go over that rib, take that there, take that in the center, hold it down. I will grab some thin, tack this in, tack this in, and I'll take that piece because it should already be cut to your angle from the last one. Should be cut to your angle that you need. You can just set it on the bottom side now and use the top side to mark, and you know that's going to be square. And you can cut your next one and just continue on and put all these in. When you get to the last one down here, it just butts to the outside of the rib. All the extra goes to the inside. So when you get down here, it'll just butt to the outside, flush. And you can continue on, and we'll have then all we got to do is pop it off of the table, and to do so, you're going to pull all your pins that you have access to. If you don't have access to these ones, you're going to have to lift it off your table and pull the pins out from underneath. I'll lift this off. And I'll take these quick pins out. So now we have our wing off the table. Just be careful setting it back down. If there's little stuff on the table, you will dent it. You will dent this stuff really easy. But now that we have it off the table, we need to take these tabs off. And the way I do it, I just take my knife. There is a line on them. You can see the lines on them, and they're cut pretty much. Only thing holding them is a little bit back here, a little bit up here, a little bit back here, a little bit up here. They're pretty much all the way through the rib, the laser cutting. So like I say, make sure, if you want, lay something something soft down under them. So I'm going to take the chance and I just slightly score through it, just to the two lines, and take it and break it off. I would not recommend just taking and breaking them off. Just snapping them off, and then I would at least score them most of the way through. Okay, got all those off of there. Now I'm going to take my sanding block, start with lightly sanding those little marks out. Those little bumps, just until it feels real nice. I'm like not really even pushing. See, I'm rubbing the top of them, and eventually you'll see it starting to hit the rib, and when it does, you can stop. So next you want to taper this side. I would just go ahead, while you got your sanding blocks out, taper this side, check up here because you're going to have glue over spillage, and clean that up. Go through with your sandpaper, clean it up. If you have to put tape on your ribs, put tape on your ribs, and just clean them all up. Cut your excess off here and sand them. Might as well sand your edges now and get everything nice and smooth. Don't forget to put your tape on these again before you sand that. And the next thing would be gluing in your wing tubes or wing sleeves. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I actually, before, I already partly glued these in. It would be easier if they weren't there for sanding. That's why they tell you not to glue them in now. But I took a little bit of the 1/16 balsa. I'm sorry, the 1/8 balsa from your wing ribs here, or spar, and I put one on the top side of that. I don't know if you see that in there. I put one in there just to help give this a little bit more strength. That's not a whole lot of weight. I just CA'd it in. You could even do this side if you wanted to, but I'm gonna like just to do the one side. But before I start closing this wing up, I'm gonna come in here with epoxy and microblooms and glue this in on this side, here, and attach it to the rib here. Do not put no glue out here because there is a wing cap that goes on, and the same as down here is a wing cap that goes on. So do not put no glue out here. Okay, we're gonna continue on here. I have some 30-minute epoxy. I'm using 30-minute because it seems like when you add the microblooms in, it sets up a lot faster. Okay, so I got the bottom covered on this one, got it all done, sanded, and I put the paper servo wire tube in. It does come with the kit. It's just 2 white pieces of paper. They give you a certain size to cover them and to cut them to, and I just left them whole and just rolled them, got them in there, and then let them unravel, and then tacked them, and then went back with the microblooms, then got those all done. I still haven't put the wing cap on either end. There's some caps that go on. I haven't done those yet, but I want to show you how I got this one done. Got my servo covers in here. They're not really a covered servo hole, and show you how I did this. Alright, they recommend you putting it flat on your table and back on your building table, and put a 1/8 piece of wood underneath the bottom of it, just to help hold it, stop it, make sure it's not twisted while you put this last covering on. And that's what I did on the other one. So first things first, we need to straight edge this piece. We get that straight edge, then we can get it glued on, get it folded down, and get it cut to size. So we'll do that now. Alright, I'm going to look at it, see which side I like better. I'm going to go with this side, and we'll butt it here, make the mark halfway, and butt it here, come down. And before I put those in, I do have, oh, it's still on the stick. haven't finished cutting it all the way. I did take 1/4 by 1/4 stick, and I set on the plans and marked where my hinges are gonna go, and I want to put a little extra in there, just around where the hinges are. The way I did it. This is the size I cut it last time. I just want 4 of those blocks. They are just extra support for the servo hinges, that's it. The only reason I'm putting them in here. Take some medium CA. Look where my servos, or where my hinges mount here. Go halfway. Through it. Next one. Got those glued in. So now I'm going to come back and medium CA all this. And these right here are 40 millimeters. That's what I went with. Then I just measure across. Mark it. I actually leave it a little bit long, maybe a millimeter on each side. You can always sand it back level to them. That way, if they're not quite square. Alright, number 20, that is your wing tip. You need to pop those out for your wing tips. And they are Balsa. And I'm going to keep the templates like before. And then number 4 is your wing root. You need to pop that out of there. There's other of your fuselage pieces in there. Don't forget to pop the centers out. We'll come back and sand. I'll come back and sand all this. Make sure there's no rough edges even in the holes. And this is your wing root. So I got all my pieces sanded, and it says you need to find a 3/16 dowel. Diameter dowel. The only one I find that size is this one. It's in the bag with all your wires. That looks like your tail wheel's in there. I will check and see if it fits. If it does fit, it's an alignment hole. And I'm going to take this dowel and cut it in half. Now you could put these on many ways. I would test fit them all before you glue anything. Make sure everything's fitting nice. Make sure you can fit them on there. Make sure everything looks good. And it does on this one. That one fits. Looks pretty good. Now I'm only going to glue the inside root first, and then I'll glue the outside. And I am going to use 15-minute epoxy. That way to give me the time to align it and then let it dry. And I'll probably grab some tape and tape it in place. You could use medium CA if you like, but I would recommend using epoxy and to glue them in. That'll give you time to adjust it, because even medium CA can be instant. Alright, let's get this. I got the epoxy mix. Let's get this put on. Alright, I got one of my ailerons done. This is it. Should be the same as this one. Good. So, got that one done. So, find 12. And you pop that one out. This one out. We want this small one. We want this one. We'll set that one aside. Because there's two 12s. We'll set that aside. They're not exact to the plans, just so you know. The bumps are a little different. The first thing I did was take this back one, take my straight edge, make sure it's straight, and I pinned that one down. Pin that down. Pin that down. Make sure it's nice and straight with my straight edge, which it is. So I pulled that aside. Make sure everything fits together really nice. Okay. I'll take some medium CA. Make sure it's flat to my table and tight to the one I have pinned. And it's square on the end. Then I'm going to come back with thin CA and make sure the joint is good. Put plenty on it. Make sure it soaks through. Put plenty on this one. It soaks through. And repeat. I'll grab my end piece of my pen, mark it. I'm using medium CA just to make sure I'm filling the gap. If there's any gap like in these round pieces, they don't fit exactly tight. You know, the little round pieces aren't exactly. And then the thin is just a precautionary more than anything, just to help make sure everything is locked in, soaks in a little bit better. That's one reason why I like saran wrap. Saran wrap, you know, you can use wax paper too, but I think saran wrap is better because watch when I pull these pins, how easy it comes off the saran wrap, even with using thin CA compared to the wax paper. And all the glue residue, you just sand it off. I mean, look how much easier that was than with wax paper. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go around it with my sanding block. I'm going to use my 150 sanding paper, or no, sorry, I think this is 220. And I'm going to knock all the little high spots on it from the mold or from the laser cutting and sand that down. And I might take this one. If one of these aren't exactly perfect, I might take this and just make it more perfectly round. I mean, you just take a chance of it showing through in your covering. I plan on putting these on when I'm done. Before I cover them, I'm going to stick them on a scale, make sure they both weigh the same. If one is lighter, I would just sand whatever end is lighter or wherever spot, I will sand and make it more even. So same thing with the wings. I'll weigh the wings, find out which one's heavier, then I'll find out, weigh the ends. I'll set it on something, the end, and set it on a scale. Flip it over, weigh it, and weigh it against the other wing and find out exactly where it's more heavy at. So then I can work on whether if I got to take some away or add something somewhere. I'll make that decision at that time. So there we go. We got the wings almost done. We just got to put these end caps on and then weigh the wings, weigh the ailerons, compare it from one wing to the other, find out which one's heavier, and try to weigh them and get them the same. I'm probably going to take, if one's a little bit heavier than the other one, the one I will maybe sand wherever end it is, sand some off, or it just depends on how much off it is, how much I do. So, well, I'm going to put these on off camera. Same thing, just epoxy them, get them centered, put them on, and I'll do that off camera. So we got the wings done. We just got to do the elevators, rear elevators, and stabilizer, and rudder. And get those built. And then I get this plans off the table. And the only thing we got left to build is the fuse. And once we get the fuse built, then we can move on to covering. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, like, and comment. And we'll see you on the next one. Keep it building.